Hey, welcome. This is Simon Chen. I am here, Shayna Recker, who's going to teach you the official girlfriend's guide to network marketing. We have a live simulcast here. Shayna, you excited?
I am very excited.
All right, we're going to, I'm super excited. I'm a little nervous. I want to know what's a girlfriend's guide to network marketing. A very inspiring story. For those who are on here, if you know people who are mothers, or maybe yourself a mother, you have kids out there, you know, how to balance. This is the episode you want to get your team on. Just share it. So Shayna, I'm going to share it on my page as well. And so very simple. If you want to get it set up, I'm going to do that right now. Okay, I'm going to share that. And we have 8 people on. If you're on here, let us know where you're from. And then before we start the show. So I'm going to log in here.
Okay.
Before we start the show. Okay, we have James Welsh in the UK. James is always on. James is the man. Thank you, James.
Hi, James.
And we're going to share on my business page as well. And we'll get a lot of goodies on here. So we have people in Asia, we have people in the UK. UK is the first person on here. That's incredible.
Nice.
We have Canada and UK. Where's the US?
Let me just share this myself on my page.
Okay, and I'm done sharing. So whenever you're ready, we can go. So welcome everyone. We have Courtney from Iowa. There we go. From Burbank. Hey Tammy, Burbank, California. Not too far from me. I'm in Palos Verdes. So very cool. Out in LA. And so today, actually, I'm not going to talk too much because we've got a great episode coming up. Though I find myself talking too much and giving it away. And we want to hear from Shayna. So Shayna, if you're ready, I'm going to start the backup recording. I'm going to get a recording here. And you're watching a live recording of a podcast. And Shayna, your episode is going to go live on November 2nd. Okay, so for the final produced audio version on iTunes, on Droid, November 2nd. But right now you're watching a live recording of it. And we have Cedric Dwayne Penn, one of the best episodes I've done 2 days ago. Superstar, 17-year-old veteran on about the official girlfriend's way to network marketing. So, all right, let me start the recording and we will go. And the backup. Here we go. We have 22 people on here. Okay, 3, 2, 1. MLM Nation, this is Simon Chen, and I'm fired up to bring our special guest today, Shayna Recker. Shayna, are you ready to make it happen?
I am so ready. Really excited. Thank you for having me.
Shayna Recker is a wife, mother of 3 kids, and a former graphic designer who got started with network marketing 6 years ago when she was on maternity leave with a 4-week-old baby. She grew that business and reached the company car level in just 14 months. Shayna has earned multiple awards, trips, and has been a 6-figure earner for the last 3 years. Shayna also has a heart. We'll talk about giving back, paying it forward, helping mother moms with their home businesses, and started the Girlfriend's Guide to Network Marketing, which offers coaching and guidance to women who are trying to build a business along with just a busy life with kids. So Shayna, I just given MLM Nation a brief intro, but please share with us your background and how you came across network marketing.
Sure, absolutely. So 6 years ago, I was introduced to my company. Like I said, I was on maternity leave with my 3rd child. And I knew I always wanted to be my own boss. I just never in a million years thought it was going to be through network marketing. I always thought I was going to work with my husband. My husband's an entrepreneur. And I thought, and he's a graphic designer as well. And I thought, I was going to go on maternity leave and work with him and help him build his business. And I think the universe could see that was probably not the greatest idea, spending 8 hours a day working with your husband and then being home with him at night. And so that's when my network marketing company sort of fell into my lap. And I fell in love with the product first. I started using the product and I was noticing a difference in myself with the products. And I just started thinking, if I was getting these great results, I knew of at least 5 or 10, 15 people that I could share this with. And I thought, the person who introduced me to this, I thought, if she's making this work, why can't I? And so I talked to my husband about it, who was a huge skeptic. He definitely put up some resistance when I said, hey, I think I want to start this business. And he said, let me do some research on it. and you do the same, and we'll see what we come up with. And so my research was basically just creating my shopping list of all the products that I wanted to buy. And he actually dug deep and did some research on network marketing and the company. And he came back and he said, you know what, I can't see anything wrong with this. I think you should do it. And so I jumped in. And my vision in the beginning of starting my network marketing business was to get a great discount on my product and to maybe make $500 or $600 a month to supplement my maternity leave income and just be able to contribute a bit more to the family and have a little spending money is really where my vision was in the beginning. And it wasn't until about 4 months into my business, I made the decision to go to my company conference. And it was a tough decision, I have to say, because my youngest baby was about 4 months old. We had to make some sacrifices for me to be able to go to this and afford it and take the time away from the family. But we knew that if I did this, that it was going to be big for my business. And I went, and that was where I saw the big picture of what was possible in network marketing. I could see people on stage who were just like me, regular people who had made, a huge difference in their own lives and in other people's lives through this business. And, I have to say there was a shift that took place in me that weekend at that conference. And I came back, and I remember my husband picking me up, and I was just like a blabbermouth. I was just like, oh my gosh, I'm doing this. Like, I had made the decision right then and there that I was not going to go back after my maternity leave, that I was definitely going to make this work. And that's when, I saw a huge, wave in my business. I really just, I just took it by storm. And that was, 4 months in, and 10 months later, we promoted to the company car level. And and I think it was just making that decision and closing that back door to make it happen. And that was 5 years ago, and we're still going today. So yeah.
Have you been approached by network marketing before that?
I have never, it's funny that you say that. I've never been, even today, I've never had anybody who doesn't, I guess, know me approach me and ask me to take a look. It's funny. Yeah, I've never
I think that is super inspiring, because a lot of times people feel that, oh, no one's interested. I've seen there's so many people like you. You're a very successful professional who's never approached network marketing. And a lot of times we focused, what do you feel about this? Like, I think a lot of times people focus too much on the negative prospects, that they're so mentally and also physically, they're looking at the wrong places. And there's so many other people like you, other Shana records out there who are open to opportunity, ready, but people unfortunately don't even talk to them because they're thinking about the bad prospects that said no to them.
Well, and I think sometimes people are scared to talk to successful people about network marketing because they feel like, oh, well, that person's already successful. Like, they're not going to want to do anything with this. But this business is so amazing. Like, people who are really successful, probably if they're in a corporate position or, they probably put in a lot of hours to make the income they're making. And they're smart, successful people. If you show them a business opportunity like this, a business opportunity where you can make, really substantial income, but, with a half or a quarter of the time, I mean, if they're smart, they're going to want to take a look at this. So I think sometimes we shy away from those people because we're nervous and scared that what they're going to think. But if they're smart, they're going to take a look. And and those are the people I want in my business, anyways.
Yes. What made you successful right off the bat? You hit 14 months. Well, actually, before we talk about the 14 months, what was your first 4 to 8 weeks like? Because you had a baby. So how did you balance building the business? And can you share a little bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. I did a lot of social media work in the beginning because my baby was so young. I had to work in those little nooks and crannies. And it's funny, one of my direct leaders in my business, she started very quickly with me in the beginning. And we used to joke because she had a young baby as well. So we would be, texting and typing each other with one hand while we're holding a baby. And that's what we just did. I did what I could when I could. So if the baby was napping, when Ryan was napping, I was online trying to message some people, sharing what it was that I was doing, asking if I could send them some samples. Also, anytime anybody came over to see my baby, they left with samples, they left with information. And so I was just getting it out there as quickly as I could because I only had, I couldn't be out doing group presentations and stuff like that a lot in the beginning because I couldn't be away from my baby for more than 2 hours at a time. So I was doing a lot of, more one-on-one kind of stuff. And that definitely helped. I'm a big person of personal development too. I dug my teeth into anything and everything that I could read or listen to, which really helped me with the mindset stuff. in the beginning, because that's, super important as well.
Why do you think you were successful pretty quickly while most distributors struggle? Or even people who are watching this and they haven't achieved the success. And by the way, if you love what you're hearing right now, give them some thumbs up and hearts. It's pretty, it's pretty admirable. 4-week-old baby, you're building your business. My kid is like almost 7 months now, and I just can't imagine that. So give Shana some hearts, give thumbs up. And so share a little bit about why were you successful while a lot of people struggle? They don't have the success. What was the difference?
Yes. I have to say, like I said, the personal development piece was huge for me. So I did a lot of investing into listening. I listened a lot. So any chance I could have something playing in the background, I did, because I wanted to hear, how did other people make this work? I wanted to know. So I did a lot of personal development on the industry and, on what other leaders in my company did. And then I sacrificed, I had to sacrifice stuff. I didn't watch TV. I was up, as soon as the baby went to bed, I was up late doing stuff on my computer. I sometimes had to give up some time with my family to be able to, get out to a presentation. And, even going to that company conference, I had to, leave my husband with a 4-month-old baby to go to this conference. But, that was a sacrifice that I had to make. And I think that, giving up short term, some of these things that we love so much, to get it back in the long, like in the end is worth it. And to me, I think that's, some people aren't ready to do that. Some people aren't ready to give up, some stuff to find success. And I truly believe that that's a huge part of it.
What was some of the early personal development when you got started that really helped you, especially the initial couple of weeks?
Yeah. For sure. My company has company trainings. They're like little audio trainings done by different leaders and people already, in my company. And I found that was really helpful because they, one, were familiar with my company, and two, the product, and two, they had been, where I had been. But some of the other audiobooks that I listened to, one of the first ones was Dare to Dream, Work to Win by Dr. Tom Barrett. I found that was really helpful to help wrap my mind around what I was, going to expect in this kind of industry. There's a whole series of books by Mary Christensen that I found that were really good. And Your First Year in Network Marketing, Being a Sponsoring Superstar, like anything I could get my hands on, I was all over. And so those were some of the major ones in the beginning. Your First Year in Network Marketing was another one. They definitely help you through some of those, ups and downs. We always have the ups and downs, but in the beginning, there's a lot more kind of ups and downs, and some of the disappointment that you experience, they help you get past that.
By the way, do you have a book out right now? Are you working on a book yourself?
I don't have a book out right now. I have, and a book is definitely something that I'm contemplating. I just right now have my website and my Facebook page where I do free live training on there. Usually a few times a week I'm on there doing some live video trainings.
Awesome. So that's a question for Michael Finch. I asked the question. Michael, that's your answer.
Yeah.
Let's talk about, give us some thumbs up in the hearts. I want to talk more about time management. I think that's
yes.
You had a 4-week baby. So what was your typical day like? You talk about sacrifices you made. What time would you wake up? Because I know babies need to be fed. How did you balance everything? When did your husband come to help out? What was a typical day like?
Yeah, my husband was amazing. I was actually quite fortunate in the beginning because his business worked out of the home as well at that time. And so we were kind of co-parenting a little bit. But so if I needed to get on a call or do something and he could take time out of his business, he could, watch the baby while I did that. But I just maximized, nap time. I maximized bouncy chairs. I maximized things that I could do to keep everybody happy so that I could get on a call or I could, send some messages. And like I said, just being diligent in the nighttime when all the kids were in bed, I didn't lay on the couch and watch TV. I was either reading something or messaging somebody or on a call or listening to a recording or, being on a training or something or reaching out to somebody. And so time management, it's all about priorities. It's like, how bad do you want it? Are you willing to give up and move things around to make this work? And this was a huge priority to me because I had made that decision that I didn't want to go back to my full-time job. So I had a time limit. I knew my mat leave was ending here and I was here and I had to make this, make my income match what I had before so that I didn't have to go back. And so that really put priorities in place for me. And so I was really diligent about the time that I was spending on my business.
So you didn't go back afterwards?
No.
Awesome.
No, I never did.
Awesome. I agree with you. I think time management, people think it's some type of trick or it's really about attitude. I think 90% of time management is, that's what I teach my coaching client, is attitude. It's like, how badly do you want it? You know, when you want it bad, you find yourself stop wasting time. You find yourself not watching TV. You find yourself spending less time eating, spending less time sleeping, and you just make it happen. And like Shayna says, you have to make the sacrifices. You got to pay that price, but sooner or later, you have to pay it sooner now than later on. If Shayna did not make those sacrifices, you probably had to go back to get a job.
I may have, absolutely.
How many kids do you have?
I have
three. How old are they? That's the question. How old are they?
They're 14, 12, and 6 now.
14, 12, and 6. Okay, nicely spread out. Let's talk about your aha moment. What was a major aha moment? You did talk about the event, but what was a major aha moment you had where your business really, really took off?
You know, I have to say, maybe, I don't know if this is the aha moment where it took off, but this was the aha moment where I realized what I had in front of me. And it was when I was away for a weekend, and it was, I was, with my family. We were away on a vacation. It was 2 or 3 days we were away, and I hadn't done any business at all because I was on vacation. I kind of just, was with my family, and I had come back and I opened up my business and I looked at my numbers, and my numbers, over the course of the weekend had grown by $10,000 at that time in my business. And it was an aha moment for me to sit back and kind of go, holy smokes, like I didn't do a single thing for my business this weekend. I was away spending with my family. And there was a $10,000 growth over, the course of 2 days in my business. Like that's where the residual kind of aha moment came in, that this is what I had in front of me, that if I continue to grow this, that 10,000 is going to turn into 20 and 30. And it's going to, I could, really just see that time leveraging piece kick in. And I remember sitting on the couch with my husband going like, do you know what that means? Like, do you get that? Like, we didn't do anything for our business this weekend and it grew by $10,000. And that was, I know that was one aha moment for sure for me, for that.
Now let's take another, and by the way, we have people from Africa, Nigeria, Lagos. What's up? How's it going? We're global here. We got Canada, we have Philippines on here as well. I love, this is my favorite question. What was your worst moment in network marketing? To the point that maybe you even had doubts that, hey, maybe I should have done this. But because you hung in there, and that moment, actually maybe been your best moment, you learned lessons and you are where you are today.
Worst moment. Okay. So, I mean, we've all had this before in our businesses, but, I've seen an entire, leg of my business, basically fall apart, and crumble. And actually it was the leader in that business that, just found out that she could just, no longer do the business. She wasn't actually allowed, because of her other career, and she literally had to stop. And, I tried to work with that leg and help that leg, but it just literally crumbled in front of my eyes. And, it was hard. It's hard to watch that happen in your business. And sometimes, you can get in there and try and save it, but it just wasn't possible for me at that point. And when you lose a big piece of your business like that, you start to doubt, yourself, and you start to doubt, what, maybe it was something I did, or maybe I could have done something differently to help save it. And, but what it does, like you say, in moments like that, where you feel like it's the worst thing ever, it really does actually propel you to, work harder and move forward and try and never let those things happen again. And I think sometimes in, moments of despair like that, like you say, your best moments come out, and you just rebuild and move forward. And, we've grown stronger ever since. So, and I think that's common, when people quit, I think sometimes it's like, people get so down on themselves when people quit, but they quit. That's just a part of this business. And it's hard the first time it happens, and even the second time, but by the third or fourth time, you just kind of go, it's part of what we do. People do quit, and you just have to kind of pick up and move on.
Yeah, definitely.
So probably be one of them.
Yeah. What's your self-talk when people quit? What do you say to yourself when people quit?
Like, could I have done something differently? Like what, maybe I didn't reach out to her enough, maybe I didn't coach her through it enough, or maybe I didn't, spend enough time with her team, or maybe I did something wrong launching her, maybe I could have done more, and it's hard when you have that self-talk. You gotta recognize that stuff and stop it, because at the end of the day, the only person responsible for your success is you. So as much as those people, when they quit or they leave, as much as, I take responsibility sometimes for that, even though at the end of the day, it's up to you if this is going to work for you or not, so you have to be mindful of that, and don't let your self-talk get too negative.
Yes.
You got to kind of stop yourself.
And by the way, we have a question from Nigeria, Alawale, hope I got your name correct, about online marketing. And I know you've been pretty good. I'm very impressed with your branding. What online marketing strategies can you share to grow, to find prospects? What would you say?
Yeah. Well, right now, Facebook Live is huge. If you're not engaging in Facebook Live right now, you really should be. I'm being mentored right now by, I'm going to give him a shout out, by Bob Heilig. And
yes, Bob Heilig is the man.
Yeah. He's awesome. And so he's taught me a lot about personal branding. And right now, Facebook Live is huge. So Facebook is really favoring Facebook Live. So if you're doing live videos, Facebook's actually giving you a lot more organic reach with that. And especially the more shares and the more comments and things that you get on those videos, it really actually pushes it out even further. I actually just did a Facebook Live video yesterday on my personal page. And I think as of today, that was just yesterday, I think it was yesterday morning, there's already 4,000 views. It's had 70 shares. Like it's getting a lot of reach. And that's because Facebook really likes these live videos. So the tip with that, though, is to make sure that you're educating, you're entertaining, or you're empowering people through those videos, because people don't just want to watch you doing nothing, right? So you have to make the content good. But right now, if you can engage in that, share about, build a know, like, and trust through those videos, I think that's going to do you a lot in getting people to see who you are and attracting people to you.
Yeah, so it's basically providing good value, letting people know, like you, trust you, and then the prospects will come to you. Hey, we got a little delay. Are you there, Shayna?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, no, so basically it's about, just to recap what you said, creating value, providing good stuff out there, not going out there trying to be a hunter, try to be a salesperson, but providing good value, sharing your knowledge, entertaining, educating, inspiring people, using a great tool like Facebook Live, and that's building your brand, and people actually will come to you instead of you chasing people.
Yeah, and don't be an infomercial. Don't be on there just talking about your products and your business all the time. Talk about things that are going on in your life, what's happening. Try and keep, your company stuff out of it as much as possible. And then every so often, you can post a little something about your business, but it's getting people to know who you are, because people join you, not your company, right? So
good stuff.
I think that's a huge tool.
You also mentioned, shifting gears a little bit, about samples. Like when people visit the baby, you give them samples. Can you share some tips about sampling? Because I think a lot of people do sampling, but they do it the wrong way. How should people sample products?
Absolutely. First of all, making sure the biggest tip is your information is on all your samples. So many times people give out sample packs and they don't have any of their info on the package. And the first thing, if you hand a sample to somebody and that person goes, yeah, sure, I'll try it. And then they take it home and they're like, no, I'm not trying this. And they give it to their neighbor who gives it to their friend. And then that person actually tries it and loves it. And they need to know, who do they contact to get it? So, it sounds like something so simple, but people sometimes don't do that. So making sure you have professional labels done that you can put on your sample packs. I like to do up packages that have, my samples in them, that also have a little thank you card that's handwritten by me that says, hey, thank you so much for taking these, for trying them. I'll be in touch in a couple of days, and making sure they have that personal touch from me. In there, I like to throw a success story. So if your company has some success stories that you can print out and put in there with it. And then also making sure that if you're giving out samples that you get their information, because if not, you're just throwing money out the window. So making sure that if you give somebody a sample, if I give this, will you use it? Awesome. Can I get a business card, or do you mind putting your name in my phone, or are you on Facebook so that I can follow up with you? And if they're not willing to give you that information, then I wouldn't give them the sample, because then you have no way to follow up.
It's really great. By the way, if this has been good, please share it. Get people on here. This is a great message. I want to dig deeper into sampling. So share it. Give them thumbs up here. How much? What's the value of the product you normally sample out? Is it like a $5 product? $10? What do you and your company? What do you do?
We're skincare, so skincare, health, and wellness. So depending on what it is, so the sample pack, the cost of the sample pack, is that what you're asking?
Yeah.
So our top producing line, the sample pack's around $2 each. Or $2 or $3, almost $3 each, I guess now. And so if you're trying to give those out, on a regular basis, that can add up. So you want to make sure you're getting value. When you're giving those out, you're getting something in return from them so that you can follow up, or else you're just throwing money out the window, I think.
Definitely. All right, this has been awesome. Let's shift gears a little bit. A couple of years ago, recently, not too long ago, you had a vision. You had a conversation with your husband, and you saw all the other mothers out there who are living crazy lives. I say crazy because they have kids. Anything with kids is a big adventure. But they still want to grow a home business. And you started the Girlfriend's Guide to Network Marketing, right? Share a little bit about that. What is that?
Sure. It was an idea that my husband and I came up with a couple of years ago. We were on vacation in Chicago, and I was reading a network marketing book written by a woman. And as I was reading it, I looked over at him, and I just had this brainwave of, I'm like, why couldn't I do something like this? I know what I know about network marketing, and I've had some success. Why couldn't I write a book or something? And so that just sort of spawned into, I think we probably had a couple-hour conversation about, how this could unfold. And that was 2 years ago. And to be honest, I feel like at that point in my life, I didn't have the confidence that I needed to be able to go out there and produce this, because I felt like I needed to be at a certain level within my company to say that I had, to say that I had experience to be able to do it. And this past year, I was able to promote to that top level. And it was that I kind of said, okay, I'm ready now. I think I can do this now. And so, we would talk about it. And I told my husband the one day, I said, you know what, you just have to create the logo. And if you create the logo, everything's going to start to fall into place. It'll start getting traction. And sure enough, that's exactly what happened. He created the logo. It was exactly what I was envisioning. We created a Facebook page, and the purpose of it was to, I said, there's a niche out there for, busy moms, regular girls. Like, I'm just a regular old girl, there's nothing special about me. I don't have any special background in sales or marketing or anything like that. And I wasn't the first one into my company or anything like that. And, there's regular girls like me out there that are trying to balance, some of them are balancing jobs and children and trying to run a network marketing business. And so I felt like there's a niche there for people just to hear from, just a regular girl who's found success and been able to manage it through those busy things that we're doing in our lives. And so that's kind of where the inspiration came from. And I know there's a lot of people out there that just quit too soon, that life does get tough. It does get busy. And they just say, you know what, forget it. It's too busy. I can't do this. And it saddens me that they give up too soon. So if I can inspire, even one more person just to keep going through Girlfriend's Guide, then my job's done, and so I just want to help those out there that are also struggling, that don't maybe have an upline or don't have the support within their company. And, if some of the things that I've done in my business that have helped me get through, if I can share that with others and help them, then that's the purpose of it. And it's just starting to come together. And I hired a coach to help me through building it and getting it up and running. And it's really taken off. So
awesome. So you said you're a regular girl. So what made you? A regular girl. So I want to dig deeper. A regular girl. Why? How come you're successful? If you're just a regular girl, what did you do?
Because I think I'm coachable. Like, if you tell me to jump, I say how high. Like, if somebody that is out there that has something that I want, I will be willing to do whatever it took. Whatever they did, I'm willing to do it. And I think that's a key in making this work. You have to be willing to do what the other people before you that had success did to get this to work. So I've always been super coachable.
Sorry to cut you off. But Bob Heilig is in the house. Your coach is up there. What's up, Bob? So, Bob, we're talking about how this regular girl became successful. So I'm sorry to cut you off. We got to give a shout out to Bob, man. Bob's the man.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, Bob has been on MLM Nation. I forgot what episode it was. Go to mlmnation.net/podcast, or just go for the search bar, search for Bob Heilig, Heilig, and you can look him up. And just for me, just watching how amazing his profession is, I interviewed Bob about 10 months ago. And just in the last 10 months, he's done amazing, amazing things. So he's giving a shout out. It's just amazing stuff. So don't ever think that. I think most people, you're dreaming too small and dreaming too slow. I've seen Bob just in 10 months do amazing things with coaching, helping other people, empowering people like Shayna. So don't think small. You got to hang on with big people with big dreams. And Shayna, you're one of them. So I'm sorry to cut you off, but I just want to give a shout out. And shout out to Bob, and he's on here. But tell me more about the regular girl. What did the regular girl do?
It's like I don't have any experience in sales. I don't have, a lot of success stories, we hear sometimes are people who, didn't have kids and they didn't have the distractions and they didn't have these things. And so to just know that I'm just, a regular girl, like I worked in an insurance company doing graphic design, to be able to find success through the busyness of everyday life, and not have any special skill sets. That to me is just, I think there's a lot of us out there that are just, regular girls who are just trying to make it. And like I say, if I can inspire some of those girls to be, and guys, it's like, I call it girlfriend's guy, but I'm sure there's some guy followers out there that don't mind my advice, but it's just helping them just to stick with it and keep going. If I can keep them, inspired, then that's my biggest, role with this business.
Awesome. Hey, so you said your coaching as with girlfriends for girlfriend's guide to network marketing is taking off. What is normally the most common advice you give? Like the biggest obstacle that's holding these women back?
I think the biggest thing is how to meet new people and how to grow your network. How do you get out there and find people? And especially when we live these busy lives, because a lot of times we are homebound because we have young children at home. And so I just actually I had a coaching call this morning with a girl that was exactly her question is, how do I grow my network? And so, like I said, the biggest thing you can do is get out of your house and meet people, but be intentional when you're getting out of your house. Like meet people through, your kids' activities, sign them up for a gym class. Like I was doing anything and everything, when Ryan was at that age that I could take him out of the house, I took him to the little gym. I took him to the park. I was taking him to different places to be able to meet him, the YMCA, like all those different places to try and, get out there and meet people. So I think their biggest thing is, how do I grow my network and how do I shift them from being, like somebody that I've met to a prospect for somebody for my business. And, I think that's kind of been one of the bigger ones anyways in the last little while that I've gotten.
And we'll include in the show notes and we'll include the link. So if you want to learn about I call it the official girlfriend's guide to network marketing, you can find more about what Shana does. That's moving on. What would you consider your proudest moment in network marketing?
Well, two. One is when I was able to actually promote my first leader to the company car level. It's one thing when you get your own company car. It is such more an amazing thing to see somebody else, that you work with achieve that same goal. And, just being able to see somebody else's life, be affected and changed through the business opportunity that you've been able to share together. And so that I think is huge, is watching, other people grow and find success in their business. The second one was when we promoted to the top level of the company. That was something I was focused on, very seriously for, well over a year that I was going for that title. And to then the evening that it all came about and it all took place, just being surrounded by my friends, my team, my family. And when the numbers rolled and we hit it, it was just like, it's like, that thing, it's like, I was so focused on that for so long that when it actually happened, it's almost like numbing. You just kind of like, okay, it's done. And then, so that was a really inspiring moment as well. And just being able to be surrounded by the people that were there and, that were supporting me in this. So those are both two very good moments. What
excites you about network marketing now? I mean, you've been in this 5-6 years. How have you seen this profession change? What gets you excited?
What gets me excited is I think that people are starting to look at this whole industry differently, and it's a much better light. People like Eric Worre and a lot of the network marketing leaders out there that are really changing the face of what network marketing is. And that to me is exciting because there are people who are starting to look at this business that, 5 years ago, 3 years ago, 10 years ago, would have snuffed their nose at. And so it's really exciting to me to see the growth that we're getting in this industry. And the, people are looking at it and in a much better light. And that's exciting because I think that it's in even a few short years, it's not going to be a matter of if you're in network marketing or not. It's going to be a matter of which company are you with. And more people are starting to really see the value of having a business like this. Doctors are joining, lawyers are joining. It's not just for the person who's sitting on their couch that doesn't have a job. This is a real business. And that excites me,
Yeah.
to see that there's a shift that's happening.
Like tracking people like you and your husband.
Yeah.
Like professionals.
Like it's attracting professionals, and that's huge for us,
What is your vision? Where do you see, where are you taking your team?
Oh, you're going to make me cry talking about this. You know what? I really honestly see, I see being able to, I want people to have what I have. I want people to experience what I experience, the travel, the time freedom, seeing somebody be able to leave their full-time job if that's what they want to do, to be home with their children, so inspiring the team to, have a bigger vision for themselves. Before I started network marketing, my vision was to be a manager at the insurance company in the design department. That was the biggest dream that I had. And now my dream is like, I want to live in California. I want to have a huge team. I want to grow Girlfriend's Guide. Like I have my dreams are so much bigger. And so if I can inspire my whole team to have bigger vision and bigger dreams for themselves, when that duplicates out, like that's unstoppable power, so it's sharing that, that people can have, they can have more, they can dream bigger, they can have the life that they, always wanted through this industry. So
I want to ask you another question. These are the tougher questions initially.
Oh,
by the way, I'm putting her on the spot here. So you're doing coaching, which is going really well, and you're still building. How do you balance the time between that? How do you mentally shift?
That's a good question. I learned about something in a podcast I listened to, and it's about, she calls it Tiger Time. And Tiger Time is where you have a chunked amount of time that you put in your calendar, and you shut everything else off, and all you're doing in that time period is working, fiercely focused on the task at hand, whatever that task is. So what I'm finding, because the Girlfriend's Guide is just new for me, this is just really, really started taking shape in the last couple of months. And so I'm kind of figuring out the balancing piece, but I'm looking at my day now that the kids are back to school, looking at my day, and I'm chunking the 2 hours in the morning, and that's my, my network marketing business time. And then 2 hours after lunch, that's my, Girlfriend's Guide time. And then an hour before I get the kids from school, just to catch up on messages and emails and text messages. And that's how I'm planning it right now. It doesn't always work out perfectly, but if I have the intention of spending that time there, then, more of my time gets focused on that task at hand than if I just were to kind of willy-nilly it all over the place.
Hey, you just shared, give them a thumbs up and hearts. You just shared a really good strategy of chunking time. Right. I think for those who don't know about it, because all people with top performers like Shayna, they're chunking time. Can you share a little bit what that means, chunking time?
Yeah, absolutely. It's just you open your calendar, and I like to have a week's calendar printed out. You can do it by week depending on your calendar app on your computer or your program. And then I color code my time. So I have certain colors for income producing activity. I have certain colors for personal time, colors for, coaching time. And so when I look at my week starting at 6 a.m., which I get up at 6 a.m. in the morning, and right up until, 9 or 10 o'clock at night, I chunk out what I'm doing in those hours. So if I have 2 hours I'm doing income producing time, it's green, and I have that there. And then if I have, a personal appointment or personal time, because I think we need to schedule in some personal time every once in a while too, I chunk that out and I put it in a different color. So visually, just looking at my week, I can kind of see, what I have going on and where I can fit appointments and things like that in.
That is super fantastic advice. And by the way, if you're watching this on the Facebook Live, I'm going to do a recap after this, after we're going to let Shayna go, do a 5-10 minute recap of all these aha moments. I got all these pages of notes here. Chunky time, I'm very similar. For those who are out there, for me to do the podcast, there's only certain times I do the podcast interviews, certain times I got to do emails. New emails normally like the lowest priority. Creative time, running the company, you have to do that. And the color coding makes a huge difference. When you look at that Google Calendar, you immediately see like, it's grayed out, it's meetings. Purple is like my family time. It mentally makes you, it actually creates a lot less anxiety, a lot less stress. Because you see it a lot clearer. And putting all the interviews at certain times, like I don't do interviews at certain times. So that's a really big tip. And like what Shayna says, prospecting time, your tiger time. It's I think that the big mistake that most people do is they do some emails, they make some prospecting, they do this. It's hard to, your brain is not meant for multitasking.
And I've been there before, and I feel stressed out when I do it like that.
Very, very stressful. Very, very stressful.
Yeah.
Hey, you've been awesome. By the way, share this. I'm going to go to the last part of the show, which is picking Shayna Recker's brain. If you like this, please share it. Give thumbs up and hearts. So we're going to pick your brain and just going to be shorter answers, one word, one sentence answers. So the first question is, what is one of your favorite success quotes that motivates you?
Absolutely. What you think about, you bring about.
What you think about, bring about.
You bring about.
That's why they call it Think and Grow Rich.
Yeah. Your thoughts become things. So be very mindful of what you're thinking about.
What is one by the way, I need to ask you this question. Is this because do you meditate or do anything like that to be aware of your thoughts?
I get up in the morning at 6 o'clock in the morning and I do gratitude journal. So I just sit there and I just make a list of all the things I'm grateful for, and it's quiet and I have my coffee and the sun's raising, and that's my sort of mental break time.
That's awesome. How long is your gratitude routine?
It's 15, 20 minutes, just as long as it takes. I write until I, kind of am done. That's not necessarily a certain amount of things. I just keep writing until I'm done. Super
important. By the way, MLM Nation, make sure you're writing notes down. Almost every top performer, and does not just network marketing, but in other fields, they have some type of gratitude routine. Because when you're grateful, it maybe makes you feel better.
Yeah.
Right? And when you
you can't have any more unless you're grateful for what you already have.
Exactly. Hey, write that down. Give a thumbs up. You can't have any more unless you're grateful for what you have. Really good. Moving on. What is one habit, aside from the gratitude routine, what's one habit that's helped you become successful? What do you think was the number one habit? I know you have many habits.
Personal development every single day. So listening to something that's going to feed your brain every single day, or reading something if you're more of a reader. But doing something at least 20 minutes of that every single day. I love listening to podcasts while I'm walking my dog. And I don't listen to the music. I listen to something that's going to feed my mind.
Do you have a specific time to read? Like, do you read in the morning, evening, or in the afternoon?
It's more the mornings when I listen. I'm more of a listener than a reader. I hate to say it. If I read a page and a half, I'm asleep. So I have to get better at that. But I do love listening to stuff. So I'll put something on in the background while I'm working on my computer. Like I say, my phone and my car is my university. I've got tons of stuff going on in my car.
But and like MLM Nation, there's no excuse, because now they have audiobooks, there's podcasts, there's MLM Nation.
I'm an Audible fan.
Yeah, and by the way, for those out there, you can get a free audiobook at MLMNationBook.com. If you're interested in Audible, free audiobooks, go to MLMNationBook.com. There's an offer there for a free audiobook. Go check that out. What podcast are you currently listening to right now?
Well, I've got Bob Heilig's podcast on there. I have Eric Worre. Shailene Johnson, Build Your Tribe, is another one I listen to. Amy Porterfield is another one. She's really good as well. MLM Nation, of course. Those are the key ones I have going on right now.
Awesome. What's the best piece of advice you ever received?
Oh, this one is good. I actually highlighted this on my notes for today. For network marketing leaders out there, or anybody, I guess, that, when you slow down in your business and maybe you need to take a break, or you slow down, or you're kind of getting to this comfortable place of where you're at in your business, and maybe your paychecks are good and everything's all good and you don't want to really, go forward in your business anymore. When you make that decision, for your entire team. So I know for myself, when I got to the level where I earned the car, everything was all sweet. I was earning great money. I had the company car. Even though there was another level I could achieve, I kind of got complacent at that level for a bit. And when I made that decision not to push, to continue to push for the next level or the next goal, I made that decision for my entire team, because your team does what you do, not what you say. So if you are feeling like, hey, I'm pretty good where I'm at, I don't need to, push for anything more, and you have a team, you're making that decision for your entire team, because they're not going to see you pushing and wanting to grow. So it really does reflect downwards. So you really want to make sure you're always having a goal of something that you're moving towards.
That is fantastic. I've always heard and preached about lead by example, but I think you put it the best way. That every time you make a decision, you're not making a decision for you, you're making a decision for your entire team. So if you decide to slow down, your entire team's going to slow down. I love that.
Yeah.
What's your favorite prospecting tool? I know we had talked about sample the other day, but if someone was an interested prospect, say I'm a qualified prospect, do you give me the sample, or do you actually send me the online video, or do we sit and you have a flip chart? What would you use?
Yeah. Videos. We have, and a lot of companies do now with technology, videos are the best thing, especially if they're short and sweet. I know our company has some videos, and even some of the top leaders in our company are creating videos that are, easy. They're on YouTube. You can share them easy. You can send links. So I find that that's the best. And one of the things I've learned is never to try and deliver your product or your opportunity presentation yourself. You always want to use a tool, because then people can see that it's an easy thing to do. If you're the one always giving the information to your prospects, then they're going to, they can see that and go, oh, geez, I have to learn all of that. I have to do all of that. Oh, I don't know if I can do that. If you use a tool, it makes it so much easier, and they can see what they need to see without you having to be the one to explain it all. So I think online video tools are the best.
Do you have a favorite online resource, like a Dropbox or Evernote, or favorite app on your phone that you could recommend?
Let me just take a look. What do I recommend? I mean, we use Dropbox. I use Dropbox a ton. I built my whole team website through Wix. I find Wix is super easy, and it's an easy place to store all your team documents and make it look good and organized. My other favorite apps, besides my podcast app for listening, we do a lot through Facebook. That's about. And I love Canva. Canva is an awesome tool that you can use to make invites and graphics and those memes or whatever with the sayings and quotes. And if you're not a graphic designer, you can still make awesome looking things for Facebook and for your team and for your business on there. So apps like that are always good too.
Really good stuff. What is one book you could recommend to MLM Nation?
One book. Well, I said in the beginning, Dare to Dream, Work to Win by Tom Barrett is an amazing book on network marketing, because it goes through everything fundamental wise. Eric Worre's Go Pro, if you're looking to build your skills, that's an amazing one. I'm giving you two, but those are probably two of my all-time favorites.
Awesome. And here's the last question, the $1 million question. Are you ready?
Okay.
Here's the $1 million question. Imagine you had to start all over again, and you knew no one. So you didn't even know your 3 kids and your husband. You knew no one. You're kind of like an alien that went to another planet. What's the first thing you would do, or the first place you go to find prospects and build an MLM business from scratch?
Good question. So I think the first place I would go is, I don't know. I think maybe, a place to go, I don't know so much, like maybe the park, and start talking to moms. And, because moms are always looking for something to keep them sane, and so that they can talk to like-minded people, but also have an opportunity to contribute. When they're home with the kids, sometimes they don't have that opportunity to do that. So if you can go to a park and start, chit-chatting with the moms and, listen to their stories and find their discontents, and see if you can, share this opportunity with them to help, give them something for themselves. Because that's another thing, when you're home with the kids all the time and everything's about the kids, sometimes moms just need something for themselves. So I think that'd be a great opportunity to go and connect with people who are looking for what you have to offer. And the parks are full of them. They always have their kids at the park, and if they're at the park on a Tuesday, that they're a stay-at-home mom. So on a Tuesday at 2:00, right? Because they're not working their job, they're there with their kids. So that would maybe be my first one. That's a tough question.
That is good advice. Go to Tuesday at the park. There's where you get your stay-at-home moms. Hey, You've been awesome. Super thank you for sharing your valuable time. By the way, if you're watching this, we'll do a recap after this 5-10 minutes of all the aha moments. I'm going to do that. But before we let you go, as we wrap up, any last words of advice? And then what's the best way our listeners can connect with you, Shayna, and also learn more about girlfriends for network marketing?
Sure. Best piece of advice, I think one of the qualities I think that I have that I think that was very helpful for me in building this business is being resourceful. I'm somebody who, I didn't wait for somebody to show me the way. I was taking, responsibility for myself, my business, to do the research, to do the reading, to do the learning, to find the document, to, figure it out. And being resourceful is something that is a quality that I think that if you can adapt and make yourself resourceful and find the information, don't wait for somebody to hand it to you, it'll take you far. And also also that giving up temporarily in the short term to gain it back in the long term. Those are probably two of my top ones. Those are ones I wrote down here. And make the decision, decide what it is that you want out of this, and just make that decision and go for it, because that's when you'll start to see things come together. So for Girlfriend's Guide, you can find me on my Facebook page. It's www.facebook.com/GG2NWM. I'm on Instagram. It's Girlfriend's Guide to NWM if you're following me on Instagram. And my website is www.gg2nwm.com. And on Facebook, I do a lot of live videos and a lot of training there. So you can join me there and ask me questions, and I'm happy to answer them on live videos.
MLM Nation, you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. And today, you've been hanging out with Shayna Recker. So keep up the momentum and go to MLMNation.net and just type in Shayna. That's S-H-A-N-A. S-H-A-N-A at the search bar, and the show notes will pop right up. Or the nuggets of wisdom and the apps that she talked about will be right there. In order to be successful in network marketing, you must help others. So Shayna, thanks again for sharing your valuable time with MLM Nation. We're grateful to you, and we appreciate you for having a positive impact on millions of distributors worldwide. Thank you so much again, and God bless you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Hey, that was awesome. Thank you so much, Shayna. Thank you, everyone. Hey, for those who are on the Facebook feed, awesome episode. I'm going to do a quick recap and review. So, Erin Santos, it's good to see you here. Jenny Barr, thank you for being on there. June, yes, the app was Canva. That's what it was, Canva. I use it a lot of images, even my cover photos. It is free, and you actually, if you put, I think for $1, sometimes the high quality images, you want to put $1, you can get, it's totally worth it. A lot of stuff on my page, Simon Chan, was done on Canva. So what I do right after this, I'm going to do a recap for those who will come on, some aha moments. I got a whole page of notes here. By the way, I normally put everything on my iPad Pro and Apple Pencil, but believe it or not, we went to get haircuts yesterday with my kid, and my kids distracted me. I forgot my laptop, my iPad Pro, and 2 iPads and my MacBook Pro at the barbershop, which who knows when I have to go back and get it. I probably have to get it back tonight or something like that. But anyway, I'm going to record. For those who hey, Terrence out of Philly, what's up? If you like this recaps, give me some thumbs up and hearts. I'm going to go before I talk too much. And I'm just fired up. How many of you are fired up to hear from Shayna Recker? So, okay, I'm going to do this right now before I lose this energy. Energy management, right? Energy management. So here we go. Right now, just quick time. Hey, MLM Nation, this is Simon Chan, and to recap and review from an amazing show and training from Shayna Recker. Make sure you connect with Shayna, S-H-A-N-A. Go to MLMNation.net. Just type in S-H-A-N-A. You can connect with our Facebook, Instagram. Also check out the Girlfriend's Guide to Network Marketing. How cool is that? That is cool, right? Girlfriend's Guide. That's a catchy title. Who wouldn't check that out? Girlfriend's Guide to Network Marketing. Check out Shayna Recker. Some of you had questions about online marketing, branding. Go see what she does. I know she's working with a great coach, Bob Heilig. He's a good friend of mine. Heilig, by the way, with another awesome episode on MLM Nation. If you want to see the complete list of shows we've done, we've done over 250 interviews of top leaders, trainers. Go to MLMNation.net/podcast, and you can see the list there. Bob Heilig is one of them. And you know what I mentioned on the show was like just in the past couple months, I've seen the Heilig do amazing things and helping people with Shayna, growing their brands. And that's actually, by the way, I wasn't even planning to talk about this since we brought it up. The importance of having a coach. Okay, importance of having a coach that's not your upline. Whether you're paying someone or a cross line or accountability partner, you need someone to give you the real deal. And sometimes the upline may not give you the real deal because, I know especially for me, if I'm too harsh on the person, I may be afraid they quit, right? And someone that's just give you the straight up, whether you like to hear or not, whether you're ever going to work with the person ever again, give you the real deal, or top performers have coaches. Heilig is a great coach. I have a coach. I invest in coaches, masterminds. Definitely recommend it. Now, if you can't hire a coach, find someone cross-line, someone that's not related to you. Okay, that's financially not tied to you. That is also very important as well. So let me go to the recap. So I'm going to start off from the top here, okay? I think one of the aha moments is there's so many people who have not heard of network marketing. Someone like Shayna. I mean, I don't know how old she is. She's been very successful, many years. Never heard of it. And that is encouraging. Sometimes we feel like everyone's heard of it. No one's open. You know, We are blinded. We can't see because we're all focusing on downlines about to quit, on negative whining downlines. We're focused on prospects that say no to us, the negative nannies, the doubtful days. But there's a lot of people who are open for opportunity. So if your prospect is saying no, give me a hard time, move on because there's a lot of people who are open to opportunity. Next thing is going to events. This is I sound like a broken record. Importance of going to events. Go to your company events. Go to generic events. Go to events and conferences because that is when you really get the vision of the company. Now, doesn't matter. You have no money, go sell something. Sell your TV, sell clothes. Get the money to go to your company convention. One of my turning points was I went to my first company event in San Diego in April of 2004 in San Diego. Right after that, I earned my first $1,000 check. And there's so many stories like that, right? Like Shayna, her turning point was going to events. You have to go to events. You know what? When I built my business, if you don't go to the company convention, I just don't work with you. That's how strict it is because I've never met anyone who's been successful who's never been to go to the company convention. So you have to go to convention. I'm serious. Actually, later on, I just so sick and tired of working the downlines who don't make any money, who sign up and then wasting my time to train them. I just wouldn't sponsor them. If you sponsor, you make $100, $200. I just didn't even care about the $100, $200. I just don't sign up. If you can't make the commitment to go to the company event, I will not sponsor you. That's how strict it is. And actually, I made more money doing that because I wouldn't waste time. The training I did, I trained with better quality people. All right, I'm not saying you have to necessarily do that, but just sharing a tip here. Sacrifices. Shayna made sacrifices, and you have to make sacrifices regardless, now or later. So forget, I know the NFL started, whatever football season started. Forget about that. Focus your time on building the business. All right, now, if you go into the football games to meet prospects, then maybe that's good. But focus your time on building the business. You got to make sacrifices. You got to pay the price sooner or later. And Shayna did it sooner. And it was tough. 4-week-old baby. Gosh, I couldn't even imagine that. 4 months old baby and going away for the weekend for the event. But she would not be here today if she had not made those decisions. Right? And there's a big aha moment. Every decision you make is a decision you make for your team. Every decision you're making. So whatever you're making, you're going to do this weekend, whatever you're going to do after listening to the show, that's the decision you're making for your team. If you're going to prospect hard, that's what your team is going to. That is what I call by leading by example. It's probably one of the best ways I put it. Every decision you make, you want to slow down, your team is going to slow down because your team always watches what you do. Some other tips about online marketing. I know a lot out in Nigeria, it is about not selling yourself, okay? If you're putting your email address in there, don't be an infomercial. Provide value. Help people. Give people advice and tips. That's what people attract. You're probably watching this or listening to this because I've given value. This business and life is about giving. You ask about online marketing to attract prospects. It's giving. And maybe someone becomes interested and might buy your products. Most people get it wrong. It's like they want people to buy, and give a little. That crap doesn't work. Okay, and if you have to try that, you may make a little bit in the short term, but sooner or later you're going to burn everyone else. You're going to lose all your friends because you're a salesperson and no one wants to do what you're doing. Okay, even though you're making a little money, they think, if I have to join, I'm going to be a salesperson like you? Heck no, I'm not doing that, right? So online marketing in life is giving. It's a great book by Adam Grant, one of the best books I've read in a while, called Give and Take. And all the successful people in the world, they're givers. And thank you for the hearts. Keep them coming. Give. And that's our vision at MLM Nation. We're giving. And, it costs a lot of time, a lot of money to make every episode podcast that we're doing on Facebook Live, a tremendous amounts of time, but it's giving. And you know what? Here's the cool thing about giving. Even if you don't make 1 penny back, you feel good. And when you feel good, you do good. When you feel good, you're better and more excited in business. When you feel good, you become a better mother, better father. When you feel good, you become a better spouse. When you feel good, you become a better person in society and community. You do better. And when you feel good, the world does better. The world is better. And that's I love about network marketing, the 3 beliefs. Number 1, network marketing allows us to fulfill our unlimited potential. Network marketing allows us to give back more. And network marketing allows us to fulfill our legacy, right? Legacy. And that's what we're doing. Giving. So online marketing, just give. And Shayna shared a great tip there. Facebook Live is doing awesome right now. Do this Facebook Live. That's what we're doing. Focus on giving though, not selling. Okay, if you give, Facebook will, people will like it, people will share it, giving goodwill. And again, the more you give, the more you feel good, and the more you feel good, the better you do. All right, I think you got the point there. I'm going to move on to a couple other things. You talked about sampling. She gave great tips on sampling, and thank you for the hearts and thumbs. Keep them coming. Share this. Sampling is she give like $2 sample bags, but you have on the packet, you got to give a thank you and get the contacts info. Contact. You have to get a contact info. It's not just giving out free candy. You gotta get the contact info, and don't be shy about it. I think one of the things some of you may feel like, oh, some person came to visit my son to say hi. I'm gonna give him sample packs. All right, sample packs. No, don't feel that way. Right? Give. Give sample packs. You never know. Make sure you have information on there as well. Another great tip. Shayna. I call her Shanna. Shayna. I'm so fired up. I forgot her name. Right? Shayna gave great time management tips. That the whole thing was a time management training. Again, you definitely want to check her out. Girlfriend's Guide to Network Marketing. Is time management 90% is attitude. How badly do you want it? If you really want it bad, like think about it. If I'm going to say, I'm going to give you $1 million today, I'm going to give you $1 million next week. If you talk to 5,000 people, I'm sure you're not going to sacrifice. You're going to sacrifice not eating. Now, you can maybe even have hired people to take care of your kids, whatever. You go away, you do everything to take that $1 million in the 7 days, right? It's about time. It's about attitude, right? Think about it. If someone says, hey, I'm going to take away your life. I'm going to take away your life, kill you if you don't get this done, I'm sure all of us will go out there and make it happen. It's the lack of urgency that's the problem with time management. It's not like the trick and stuff. Urgency. How badly do you want it? And with Shannon, she had really urgency. It was basically make it or go back to work. She was on her maternity leave. Make it or go back to work. So some of the things she does, the tiger time, I love that. Chunks in time. A lot of times people go back and forth, fluctuate, do this and do that. Everyone needs, you can't be operating like that, like multitasking, right? Focus on prospecting time, the income producing activities, the IPAs, the business building activities. For me, it was like 4:30 to 6 p.m. every single day, 5 days a week. I would not go out with friends, nothing. I would be in my place and make phone calls. If I had to be at a job, I would step out and make phone calls. I'll be in the car. If I had to be somewhere, I would go in my car, open the windows down, have my prospect list, and make phone calls. It's income producing time, chunks of time, right? If you want to do emails, you set a certain time to do emails. It's the same thing like whether Shayna's doing coaching or prospecting. Same thing with me, doing the shows, what I'm doing, everything's chunked in time. I have self-development time, I have reading time, I have Facebook Live time, I have business strategy time, chunking time, setting specific times a day. You definitely have to do that. And moving on, okay? You always use tools. Tools. Always use tools. Never talk. The more you talk, the more you lose because you sound like a salesperson. So make sure you're using tools and keep it simple. And the last thing is, this was pretty cool. Like, if you want to, if you're a stay-at-home mom, you want to find people who connect because people who join you are mostly people who are similar to you. Think about this, right? If similar to you. So if you're and Shayna, a big part of her audience and crowd is stay-at-home mom, mothers. And she has a connection with them. Go to the park on Tuesday, right, during the day, and if any woman there is the stay-at-home mom, they'll instantly have a connection. And that's why, like, even, it's kind of weird because I take my kid to the baby gym, and they're all mothers there. I'm like the only guy there, right? So it's hard for me to relate. So why, look at me as strange. Like, why do you, don't you have a job? And I was like, no, I actually don't have a job, right? So it's kind of weird. But if you go to like the baby gyms, those type of things, mostly they're all women. A really great way to meet people, meet prospects, okay? And people can always join if they know you, like you, and trust you. Going back to the marketing, online marketing, they'll join if you know you, like you, trust you. So, awesome episode. Make sure you reach out to Shayna Record. By the way, if you love this, please subscribe, rate, and review on iTunes. Please leave a review on iTunes. It means a lot to us. Not just to me, but the entire community, so they can find the show easier. So if providing value, you can give back more. And share this to the MLM community. Go out there. And like I said, give. I'm Simon Chan. I'm proud to be in network marketing profession. Remember, we are in the profession to help others. So go out there and have a positive impact on someone's life today. God bless you all. All right, so for those on Facebook Live, that is the recap. Let me save that before I forget it. That has super good energy there. That's an awesome show from Shayna Recker. And all right, before we wrap up, thank you for all coming on here. Tito Leaks, what's up? I will. One update is I'll be doing Facebook Live training on. By the way, today I did one, and I realized not many people were on because actually I posted it on the wrong Facebook page. So it's a lesson I'm learning as well. I got so excited to do training today, I posted on the wrong page, and not many people. We had like 20-something people on, but normally we hit a lot more. So here's the thing. John Maxwell, a couple of updates before I let you go. John, if you haven't heard, John Maxwell is doing his first MLM training ever. Okay, on September 30th, the 15 Laws of Growth for MLM Leadership. By the way, that event, unfortunately, is all sold out, but you can get a live stream. You can go to mlmnation.net/Maxwell. But if you go to my live stream tomorrow, if we hit over 50 people early in the morning, I'm going to see how hungry you are. It's going to be done at like 8:20 a.m. Eastern, okay, 8:20 a.m. out in Cleveland time, or 8:20 p.m. out in Malaysia time. If you hit 50 people, I'll get you 3 lucky people who win live stream tickets. I've given 6 live stream tickets away. Each one of these is worth $67. Yes, I know you missed out. I was like, where the heck is Theodore Leaks? You know, because I broadcast on the wrong page. It's kind of weird because normally we have a lot of people jump on immediately, so I apologize for that. I'll actually do an announcement a little bit later about that. So anyway, thank you all for watching. It's time for me to hang out with our little son and get ready for a great show again. Make sure to connect with Shayna Recker. She is tagged on this Facebook Live post as well. So remember, let's go. Let's make it happen. I'll see you all tomorrow at 8:20 a.m. Eastern. Remember, we're in the profession to help others. So go out there and have a positive impact on someone's life today. God bless you all. And thanks again to Shayna Recker. Take care.